It is wonderful to be here in Otay Mesa-Nestor, one of our fantastic branch libraries, and to be joined by the kids of Hawkins Charter School. Give it up, guys. Make sure the camera can hear you. Wonderful. And I'm pleased to also be joined by Councilmember Vivian Moreno. This is her district, and I'm proud to be standing here with her, as well as a number of our city department directors. Let's see, make sure I get them all. We have transportation, library, park and rec, yes, sustainability and mobility. Any other department directors I've missed? And then a boatload of city staff. Your city staff, give a round of applause. Thank you guys for what you do. I appreciate all of you. So you're going to hear from some of these great public servants in a moment, but we're here to celebrate actually the great work of our city team and our partner agencies and community groups, as well as individual San Diegans, the work we're doing collectively to expand our urban forest. Now, give me some details on that. The city has been able to plant 300 street trees thanks to a state grant from our friends at CAL FIRE. In 40 years, these trees will store 1.7 million pounds of carbon and remove 108 pounds of fine particulate matter from San Diego's air. That's pretty good. That's possible, as I mentioned, because of CAL FIRE, and I want to thank Lynette Short, who is here with us today. Where's Lynette? You can't miss her. She's in uniform. Where's she at? Back in the back. All right. I want to thank CAL FIRE as well as Tree San Diego. Kurt Peacock is here as well. Where's Kurt at? In the back, all right. They've been our partners in these efforts. So City of San Diego, CAL FIRE, Tree San Diego, state, city, nonprofit, working together to, again, bring 300 street trees to our community. That's a big deal. But there's more. Are you aware that the city is currently planting 1,500 new street trees this year alone? That's a big deal. And we have additionally, as a city, identified 5,000 locations in the Otay Mesa-Nestor and San Ysidro communities alone for additional tree plantings over the next few years. So 300 trees to 1,500 trees to 5,000 trees. You can see pretty quickly we're committed to making sure we have a strong, thriving urban canopy in our community. I want to acknowledge our Department of Transportation Director, Jorge Riveros, who I mentioned before is here, as well as our City Forester, Brian Widener, who's here as well. Gentlemen, thank you for what you do. They are the folks that are our leads, our initiative owners on this, and they're helping to actually not only bring these trees to our communities, but also to maintain them. Because, right, kids, we know trees need water, right? Yes. These are the folks that help us do that. They also do it with the help of our entire Park and Recreation Department. I mentioned Director Andy Field is here, as well as Shelly Busso, who is our new Chief Sustainability Officer. We're really glad to have her on board as well. So together we are committed to not only planting but growing trees in all communities. We're here in Otay Mesa-Nestor, but we want, as I mentioned, this done in San Ysidro and City Heights and Linda Vista and Claremont and all across San Diego. My office has heard loud and clear that expanding our urban tree canopy is a major priority for many communities, especially those that lack the tree coverage or are especially vulnerable to extreme heat. We know trees have a lot of benefits that come with them. One of them is helping to reduce the temperature in our communities. That's why we want to plant more. Whether it's those benefits or also the benefits to mental health, air quality, respiratory health, wildlife habitat, the list goes on and on. You understand pretty clearly this is money extremely well spent. So tree planting is a major component of our proposed climate action plan update, with a citywide goal of having 35% urban canopy coverage with a focus on prioritizing historically disadvantaged communities. It's also important a component of our climate resilient SD plan to prepare for the rising impacts of climate change, such as extreme heat. So, in light of all this, we have recently launched a campaign in partnership with SDG&E to plant up to 400 new trees in the community of City Heights, and we hope to roll out similar tree planting efforts in communities near you very soon. So, with that said, I'm happy to turn this over to City Council Member Vivian Moreno for a few comments, and then we'll get to some tree plantings. Councilmember Moreno?
Good morning, everyone, and it's a pleasure to be here. I want to welcome you all to District 8 as we celebrate Arbor Day. I also want to acknowledge our library staff here at Otay Mesa-Nestor, Coco Rios, if you're here, and I thank you so much. And to all the staff in the library department, you guys just do a phenomenal job, and we thank you so much. Today we honor the planting, upkeep, and preservation of trees in our community that are vital in combating climate change. Apart from providing oxygen, trees clean the air as well. They cool our neighborhoods and they reduce the amount of stormwater runoff, which reduces erosion and pollution in our waterways. When it comes to tree coverage and green space, it's no secret that our community, District 8, has been left behind. The city's data reveals that District 1 and District 3 have 17 to 20% tree coverage. By contrast, District 8 has the second lowest percentage of trees in the entire city, with just 9%. District 8 includes two of the most utilized border crossings of the country, one of the world. And with cars idling for hours, releasing emissions in our communities, and yet we have the second lowest percentage of trees in our entire city. However, the mayor and I are working to change that, right, Mayor? Awesome. In addition to celebrating Arbor Day, we're also here celebrating the recent planting of 300 trees in the community of Otay Mesa through CAL FIRE grants. The hundreds of trees that were recently planted and the trees that we're going to plant demonstrates a commitment to addressing the tree coverage disparities in District 8. This builds upon our effort to combat climate change in both District 8 and across the city. Last year, I authored the Climate Equity Fund in partnership with Mayor Gloria. The Climate Equity Fund fights climate change by funding new green space projects in communities that have been left behind. District 8 has directly benefited from the Climate Equity Fund. In fiscal year 22, the city allocated funding for the Southwest Neighborhood Park, which is going to be just down the way, and Cypress Drive Cultural Corridor using Climate Equity Fund dollars. These projects will also help us fight for green space and tree coverage that we deserve here in District 8. I will continue to strongly advocate for the construction of more parks in District 8. Some of those parks include Byer Park, Dennery Ranch, and Hidden Trails. These new parks will provide even more green space and trees in our communities. Today is more than just a tree planting ceremony. Today we reaffirm our commitment to comprehensively addressing the lack of tree coverage and green space in our community. Thank you so much, everybody. And with that, I'd like to introduce Misty Jones, our Director of Library Department.
Good morning, everyone. So thank you, Mayor Gloria, Councilmember Moreno, and the other guests for joining us on this beautiful Arbor Day. As mentioned, this is the first time that the city has celebrated Arbor Day by planting trees at a library. And we are so happy to have these beautiful trees on the grounds here at the Otay Mesa-Nestor Library. The library is a place to grow in knowledge and in skills, and we look forward to seeing our patrons grow along with these trees. As Mayor Gloria mentioned, we have some second graders here from Hawkins Team Charter School. They are getting their library cards today, and along with their families, friends, and other residents will be able to enjoy these trees for years to come. While today is a special celebration, the library is no stranger to Arbor Day. Each year, staff create book lists for kids, teens, and adults, providing the resources to learn more about trees and their importance in the environment. Trees are also a focus of this year's Spring into STEAM program, our annual science-focused program for students ages 9 to 12. The theme this year is Let's Grow, and students can attend the Branch Out Academy where they learn how to plant and care for trees in our urban environment, and they even get to take home a tree sapling of their own. And there are other ways to cultivate your green thumb at the library. Each location offering services is currently giving away free fruit and vegetable seeds for home and community gardens, and patrons can share their harvested seeds at one of the library's 5 seed libraries. Our excellent staff is always developing engaging programs on composting, gardening, and growing and harvesting food. So as you can tell, the library loves trees and other things that grow. This Arbor Day celebration has been a wonderful opportunity to beautify the library, the neighborhood, and community with these trees chosen specifically for this space. We've already heard from patrons about how lovely that library entrance looks with the new additions. Thank you again to the City Forestry team, CAL FIRE, and Tree San Diego for their work planting and maintaining trees in the Otay Mesa-Nestor communities. And now I'd like to turn it over to Jorge Riveros, our Transportation Director.
Thank you, thank you, Misty. Good morning and happy Arbor Day to everybody. I want to thank Mayor Gloria and Councilmember Moreno. Thank you very much. I'm happy to be speaking here representing the City of San Diego's Transportation Department. Our department is responsible for the operation and maintenance of our streets and our sidewalks. We are tasked with improving infrastructure to provide safe and efficient travel across the city. Part of that infrastructure includes the street trees that we plant and that we trim and maintain throughout the year. And I also want to thank our teams, our partners departmentally. We work with the Parks and Recreation Department, and I want to thank the teams that are out here today that help us with this infrastructure management. Flourishing urban canopy with an abundance of street trees and sidewalk trees makes communities walkable and livable. The cooling, carbon capture, and traffic calming benefits that trees bring serve to balance the effects of our hardscaped public right-of-way. That is why we incorporate our infrastructure, our tree infrastructure, with our transportation infrastructure wherever we can. When it comes to sidewalk repair, we work with our arborists to redesign sidewalks around those trees. We check up on the health of our street trees with regular evaluations and trimming for public safety. And we're always looking for opportunities to include trees into new and existing projects. So on this Arbor Day, I ask you to look around your community and see how trees and transportation infrastructure interact to make our city beautiful in so many ways. Once again, I want to wish everybody a happy Arbor Day. It's now my pleasure to bring up our city forester, Brian Widener. Brian?
Thank you, sir. Hi, everyone. Brian Widener, San Diego City Forester. This is a great day to be celebrating trees. This is the National Arbor Day, so it's basically our holiday for certified arborists to basically Christmas for us. So very excited to be here today. Who likes celebrating trees? Yeah. I'm grateful for our partnership with CAL FIRE and Tree San Diego. Thanks Kurt and Lynette for attending here today. This is really basically the last 15 trees of this tree planting project of the 300 that we have planted here at the library today. And the city will continue to be maintaining and watering all these trees that have gone into this community. I also want to thank WCA, West Coast Arborists, who delivered the trees to the library this week and have helped us plant some of the trees already and pre-dig the holes and etc. I also want to give thank you to our maintenance teams, our tree maintenance teams in both Parks and Rec and Transportation and Stormwater. If we can give them a quick hand. Maybe raise your hands back there to identify yourselves. I think there's a couple of them. And then I also want to thank the citywide arborists in both Parks and Transportation Department as well. Let's give them a hand. Oops. These are folks that are not just making our city more green and livable, they're also keeping our urban forest healthy and safe for the public as well through tree trimming and other tree maintenance activities. This year we've planted over 1,500 new street trees, and we plan to plant more. For those that live in the city of San Diego and are interested in a street tree adjacent to their home, go to sandiego.gov/trees and click on the Free Tree SD web feature at the bottom of the page. So it's my pleasure to have Mayor Gloria here with us today, and I'm going to pass the podium back to him for this year's Arbor Day proclamation.
Thank you, Brian. If today is Christmas for arborists, then this is Santa Claus. So thank you for all that you do. Can we have our West Coast Arborist friends come up? Anyone, any of our city folks, all the speakers, please come up close. Brian, is, one of the things you get to do as mayor is you get to proclaim things, right? That's sort of our magical powers. And obviously on a day like today, we need to proclaim it Arbor Day in the city of San Diego, which is what this proclamation will do. We encourage San Diegans, go to sandiego.gov/trees. Sign up for one of those free trees. We'll continue our great partnership with our friends at Tree San Diego, at CAL FIRE, and of course our incredible city departments. Let's get some more trees up in the city. We've done a lot in a short amount of time. We got a whole lot more to do. So Brian, let's present this to you, sir. Happy Arbor Day, everybody. Let's get a round of applause for Arbor Day. Awesome. Let's go plant some trees. Yes. You help us out? Okay. Count it.
2, 3.
Yay! All right. All right. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. It is heavy, right? Yeah. All right.
I can do it first. Can I use that one?
It isn't so easy, is it? Thanks to pros. We're grateful we have professionals doing this.
We already have jobs in school.
What is your job?
My job is hauling check.
What is it?
Hauling check to make sure that nobody's talking.